This was the best episode of Smackdown we've gotten in a while. This episode was amazing. And the main event segment, John Cena dropped a pipe bomb. This was an amazing episode of Smackdown. Oh my god, this episode was peak. Best episode of Smackdown we've gotten in a long time. Let's break down what happened. Let's get into this review. What happened on Smackdown. So first of all, we kicked off with a LA Knight in-ring promo. LA Knight says that Seth and his boys have been screwing him over and squandering his opportunities. So he figured that he should do the same thing to them and give them a taste of their own medicine. He said he costed Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed their King of the Ring matches. Knight says that there's only one way this could possibly end, and that's with him facing off against Seth Rollins. LA Knight proceeds to call out Seth Rollins. Instead of Seth Rollins coming out, Paul Heyman's music hits. Paul Heyman says that he advises LA Knight to get out of Grand Rapid, the state they were in. He advises LA Knight to get out of Grand Rapid before the end of the night, or something bad is going to happen to LA Knight. LA Knight says that he asked for Seth Rollins, but instead he got Paul Heyman. So he's just going to have to make do with what he's been given. He's going to face off against Paul Heyman, and this was hilarious. He says, Paul, I'm going to turn around, take off my jacket, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to take the first shot. Hit me with your best shot. So LA Knight proceeds to turn around, take off his jacket, and Paul Heyman scurries out of the ring. Paul Heyman runs out the ring. He dashes out the ring. And after Paul Heyman runs out of the ring, he starts talking on the mic again, and then boom, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker's music hits. They come out, they attack LA Knight. They beat down LA Knight. They throw LA Knight over the barricade. LA Knight ends up coming back with a steel chair. He throws a few shots at Breaker and Reed, and then Breaker and Reed end up walking out. They walk away, and then that's how the opening segment ends. Then later, we got a confirmation that later on in the night, we'll get a match between Bronson Reed and LA Knight. Then we got into our first match of the night, which was the Queen of the Ring semi-final tournament match. It was Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. This match was pretty solid. It could have been a lot better, but it was pretty solid. So I'm not going to, badmouth it too much. So some highlights from this match were that Asuka reversed the Sister Abigail from Alexa Bliss. Bliss reversed a top rope missile drop kick from Asuka. Asuka put Alexa Bliss in the armbar submission, and I think they used to call it the Asuka lock, if I'm not mistaken. Asuka then hits Alexa Bliss with a Hangman's neck breaker, and it looked pretty good. Alexa Bliss goes for a Twisted Bliss on Asuka, but Asuka gets her knees up. Asuka then proceeds to hit Alexa Bliss with the Impress Impact for the win, and she pins Alexa Bliss and Asuka advances. And I was kind of shocked, honestly, because I was really rooting for Alexa Bliss, and I thought Alexa was actually going to win. But then when I saw this match was set up, I was like, this is kind of, unpredictable. I'm fine with whoever wins, but I actually did think that, they were going to do something big with Alexa, and then they were going to push her, but I'm not mad at the results. This was a solid match. It was pretty entertaining. Could have been better, though, like I said. After this, we were supposed to get a Aleister Black versus Kit Wilson match, I guess. But out of nowhere, R-Truth comes in, he attacks Kit Wilson, he beats him down, puts him in the STF. R-Truth grabs the mic and says, I'm driving now. I'm in control. Get John Cena out here now. He puts Kit Wilson back in the STF and security has to break it up. And then this segment had R-Truth looking unhinged and out of control. R-Truth looked crazy, like he was out for blood. And I love this new character, this whole new persona. And I was thinking, if Kit Wilson versus Aleister Black was the match we're actually supposed to get, I'm so glad it got ruined. I'm so glad that's how they cut it off. Because who wants to see that nonsense? Not on my SmackDown episode. Jesus Christ. Who wants to see this nonsense for real? I don't. After this, though, we got a pretty cool backstage segment between Damian Priest and R-Truth. Priest basically talks to R-Truth. He says, you can't just go around attacking people. Random wrestlers. You can't just go around attacking random people, Focus and take your anger out on John Cena. And after you beat John Cena tonight, me and you could go downtown and grab a few drinks. And R-Truth smiled a little bit, and they had a good reconnecting moment because, they were both in Judgment Day and whatnot, and they had good chemistry. So they had a cool little moment backstage talking to each other, and I really liked that. This was a nice little moment, nice little interaction. After this, though, we got a Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso in-ring promo. It was supposed to be Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, but Randy Orton and Sami Zayn ended up coming out. But before all that, let's talk about what happened. Outside of the Yeet entrance, Jey Uso got a pretty huge pop, honestly. The ring, the arena, everybody was going crazy. They ended up doing Jey Uso's entrance twice, which is getting annoying at this point. I don't really like it. Just have him do it once and come out. Because his entrance is already long in the first place, and you have him do it twice. We got 2 yeets. It's an annoying waste of time. Just have him do 1 yeet, and that's it. 1 entrance. We don't need to. Anyhow, though, Jey Uso ends up getting on the mic. He says, he's talking to Cody, right? He says, we've been through the trenches. We fought my family together, won tag gold together. We finished our stories at Mania. We've both been on the top of the mountain. But this Monday, there's only room for one. And all you're going to hear on Monday is 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And I'm like, okay, cool, calm little promo from Jey Uso. It was pretty good. Best promo he's cut in a minute, honestly, I guess. Like, at least on TV-wise, anyway. He was actually able to get it out, and it flowed well, flowed nicely. I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Sami Zayn comes out. Sami Zayn's talking to Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn says, out of the 3 of us standing in this ring, only one of us hasn't won the World Heavyweight Championship yet. I'm proud of both of you. You both have finished your stories, but now it's my time to finish my story, and you guys won't get in the way. Randy Orton comes out. He's talking to everybody in the ring now, but he starts off talking to Sami Zayn. He says, Sami, you will have your World Heavyweight Championship at some point, but it won't be soon, because I'm going to hit you with the 3 most destructive letters in all sports entertainment. RKO. And then he looks at everybody else. He says, I'm willing to beat everybody standing in this ring. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to number 15. And that's how we get into Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton King of the Ring semifinal match. On to the Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton, the King of the Ring semifinal match. What happened? Some highlights. We got this pretty cool, like, funny moment where Randy Orton pokes Sami Zayn in the eye, and Sami Zayn pokes Randy Orton in the eye, saying, like, you know, I'm here for whatever. I don't care what shenanigans you're gonna get into. I'm here to win, you know? And it looked pretty cool. Set the whole tone of the match. It's like both men are willing to do whatever it takes. Other cool highlights were that Randy Orton hit his, like, you know, signature shoulder slam, his shoulder drop on Sami Zayn onto the announce table, the announce desk. He hit that twice. Sami Zayn hit a top of the rope axe handle drop on Randy Orton. Randy Orton hit his scoop power slam and his draping DDT on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn also then hit the shoulder drop on Randy Orton onto the announcer's table, which looked pretty good. Sami Zayn hit an insane blue thunder bomb on Randy Orton. Randy Orton then reversed a haluva kick into an RKO, and it looked amazing. And he pinned Sami Zayn. And I honestly thought Sami Zayn was actually going to get pushed. I thought he was going to win this whole tournament, honestly, because, like, I think the finals is happening in Saudi, and I'm like, Sami and Saudi just go hand in hand at this point. I didn't think Sami was going to get taken out this early, but you know what? I'm not mad at this results either. I'm not mad at who won. I'm okay with this. This was a great match and an awesome match. Honestly, it was an awesome match. I'm saying great match. It was an awesome match. The crowd was here for it. It was hype. It was loud. We got this as awesome chance. It was a pretty awesome match. It was a great match. After this, though, we got a Nothing Burger promo from both Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax grabs a mic and then she proceeds to say nothing of substance. Then she gets interrupted by Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton comes out with the mic, then she proceeds to say nothing of substance. They literally talked about nothing, nada. It wasn't entertaining, it wasn't important, it was nothing. Then the 2 women brawl for a little bit. Naomi comes out after Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax brawl. Nia Jax leaves Tiffany Stratton laid out. Naomi comes out with her Money in the Bank briefcase and she's ready to cash in, but again, Nia Jax prevents her from cashing in and Nia Jax gets in the way. And then this sets up a last women's standing match for next week, Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship, which should be a pretty decent match, I guess. We moved on to our next match of the night. I'm going fast because I have a lot of things to say and I don't want this video to be too long, so sorry if this one's a little bit too quick. But anyhow, though, we moved on to our next match. It was Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair. And this match was set up because apparently Chelsea Green was talking smack. She was talking trash about Charlotte, so that match got set up. Some highlights from this match: Charlotte hit a top of the rope crossbody on Chelsea Green. And this was a highlight because, you know, Charlotte is kind of tender on her knee since she has, like, one messed up knee, or she had surgery on her knee. So, like, seeing her do, like, big moves like that, I'm kind of excited. Maybe thinking that, you know, she's maybe 100% healed and she could do the big spots now. I don't know. That's why it was a highlight for me, just seeing her get off the top rope. I was like, that's cool because she came back from surgery, you know, and stuff like that, came back from injury. So I'm just excited that this is a good sign that she's able to do the big stuff again. Besides that, though, Charlotte hit this cool cartwheel clothesline move onto Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green hit Charlotte Flair with a Rough Rider. Charlotte Flair spears Chelsea Green and beats her with the figure 4 or the figure 8 leg lock. Charlotte then gets jumped by the Secret Hervis. After the match ends, Alexa Bliss comes out and rushes to the aid of Charlotte Flair, and that's how the segment ends. Charlotte walks out, doesn't pay any attention to Alexa Bliss, and just walked out of the ring. Then we moved on to, like, this next promo segment was also fire. Like, we got so much good promo in this one episode. So much good promo, so much good material. We got the Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu segment, and I didn't think much of it, but this was good. So let's just get right into this. Solo gets on the mic. Solo says that he's out here with arms wide open. He feels bad for what happened between him and Jacob Fatu, and he calls out Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu comes out. Solo says that he's not here to fight Fatu. He loves Fatu. One thing he learned while being tribal chief was how to love and take care of family. He says that families fight and they forgive each other, and he's ready to forgive Jacob Fatu and so that they could move on together. Solo then says that no one saw potential in you except for me. No one wanted you here except for me. I gave you the opportunity to change your life, to put food on the table for your family. And he says, and I did that because I love you. To be honest, I don't have anybody else. All I have is you. I don't need anybody else. I love you, Jacob. Jacob Fatu gets on the mic and he says, so you love me, huh? This is what it comes to, huh? This is what it comes down to? The way I see things, you've been using me to gain power, to fight your battles, and to become the tribal chief. Jacob Fatu then says, you brought me in so I could bring you fame, huh? You brought me in so I could bring you gold, huh? Is that what this is about? And then he proceeds to say, look at me when I'm talking to you. You've been acting real different since I've won this US title. Then he holds up the US title. He says, maybe the problem is this US title. And if it is what I think it is, and if the problem is what I think it is, then fight me for it. And he looks at Solo dead in the eyes. He says, I'm going to warn you once. If you think about coming this way, you know what it is and you know what it's about. Yara mean. And then Solo gets mad. He goes to spike Fatu, with like his finisher, his spike move. Jacob Fatu blocks it, and out of nowhere comes Cobbs running out. They start jumping Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy Uso surprisingly comes out to the aid of Jacob Fatu, and he rescues Jacob Fatu. Jimmy Uso actually starts to get beat down, then Jacob Fatu gets like this another burst of energy. He pops up and lays out everyone except for Jimmy Uso. And there's this like little seed planted that maybe Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu will be on the same page, or maybe even a team, a little bit like, I don't know. I'm excited to see where this leads to. This was an excellent segment though. Excellent promo material, excellent stuff. This was amazing. This was entertaining. This was heat. I love the delivery from Jacob Fatu. I love the delivery from Solo Sikoa. It was believable, and it was. I would very much advise you to go watch this and John Cena's pipe bomb, because there's no way I'm doing it justice just by giving a rough breakdown. Those two promo segments were amazing. After this though, we got LA Knight versus Bronson Reed. Not too many highlights from this match. It was a good match, but not too many big spots. So some highlights from this match were that from the Bronson Reed versus LA Knight match, some highlights were that LA Knight hit a springboard crossbody onto Bronson Reed on the outside. LA Knight hit a top rope jumping up elbow drop on Bronson Reed. It was like a elbow drop from the heavens, basically. Bronson Reed hits a jagged edge on LA Knight. And then to end the match, Braun Breaker comes in out of nowhere. Well, he was ringside, but he gets into the match and he spears LA Knight. LA Knight wins by DQ. Braun Breaker spears LA Knight again. So LA Knight gets speared twice. And then Bronson Reed proceeds to hit LA Knight with 3 tsunamis. And LA Knight has to get carried out backstage by, doctors and security. And they said that they're going to move him into a medical facility and get him checked. LA Knight won this match by DQ because Braun Breaker got involved. Now on to the main event. The main event was R-Truth versus John Cena. So R-Truth came out and we finally saw his entrance for the first time since he's came back, R-Truth's entrance is still the same. He still has the same music, the same song, but the only difference is that he's not rapping to the ring anymore. He just walks out, goes straight into the ring, and he waits for the opponent. So no more, what's up? What's up? None of that from R-Truth anymore. Well, at least not in the entrance anyway. So to start this match, R-Truth starts this match off by beating John Cena silly. He beats John Cena senseless. He beats John Cena silly in the ring and outside the ring, all over the ring. He started this match just completely whooping John Cena. And when I say whooping, I mean whooping John Cena. You know what it looked like? Imagine putting a 80-year-old Goldberg in the ring with prime Brock Lesnar, whooping John Cena. Alright, so after this, Cena ended up hitting the 5 moves of doom on R-Truth, 5 knuckle shuffle, shoulder drop, shoulder tackle, AA, stuff like that. He hit the 5 moves of doom on R-Truth. Cena then proceeds to get beat up after this match again. After this little spot, Cena proceeds to get beat up by R-Truth again. Starts getting whooped by R-Truth. John Cena has enough of it. He grabs his championship and starts to walk out. He's like, I'm over this match. I'm over it. This is done. I'm not staying any longer for this. And he starts to walk out. R-Truth chases John Cena down and chases him off the entrance ramp. John Cena turns around. He smacks R-Truth in the face with his World Heavyweight Championship. And R-Truth wins the match by DQ because Cena smacked him with the championship. And it's cool that R-Truth did win over Cena technically. He did beat John Cena technically, but it was just by DQ. After this happens though, CM Punk runs out. He attacks John Cena, tries to come to aid of R-Truth, but Cena one-ups him and hits CM Punk with a low blow. He smacks CM Punk with the championship in the face. CM Punk then gets a aid through a table. And this is where the amazing stuff happens. This is where the cool stuff happens. This is where the mind-blowing stuff happens. This is where the cinema comes in. Cena dropped a pipe bomb on CM Punk. John Cena grabs a mic and he says, "With 6 months of being World Heavyweight Champion, I have a lot to get off my chest." He looks at CM Punk, who's laying on his back. He says, "I don't hate you. I like you more than anyone you've ever shared a locker room with. I am the greatest of all time. The only thing you're better at than me is BSing. I am jealous of you. I'm jealous of the fact that you've tricked these people into believing the myth that you are the best in the world." John Cena says that CM Punk is an opportunist. The only thing you do is step over the necks of people who work harder than you. John Cena says that CM Punk changes his values like John Cena changes his t-shirts. John Cena then proceeds to name Claudio Castagnoli, who's in AEW now. He names Nick Nemeth, who's in TNA now, and Matt Cardona, who I believe might be in TNA as well. Claudio Castagnoli is Cesaro, as some of you might know him. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, and Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, as some of you might know them. Cena says that he gave CM Punk the stage for his pipe bomb, and CM Punk hasn't done anything of value since then. Says that CM Punk is no longer the voice of the voiceless. CM Punk is a multi-millionaire now. He says that CM Punk is Mr. TKO and does whatever TKO says. He says that TKO took CM Punk's manhood, and John Cena proceeds to say that CM Punk was the best in the world for 7 minutes 14 years ago. Cena says that he's the greatest in the world now and forever, and the champ is here. Cena drops the biggest pipe bomb on CM Punk, and I'm not doing this promo any justice. I suggest you go watch it for yourself because this was insane. John Cena kept hitting the mic, checking to see if it was on. He's like, they won't turn this mic off on me backstage, so I'm gonna continue. This was crazy. And like some notes from this match that I made after this whole promo segment and stuff like that, after I calmed down, some notes I made was that R-Truth looked amazing during this match. I love his new moveset. He has like some Stone Cold in there, used some of John Cena's move. He used some punches, slaps, stuff like that, drops, slams, stuff like that. His new moveset looked amazing and it looks aggressive too, just picking up people, slamming them, using Stone Cold moves, using John Cena moves. It looked really entertaining. And R-Truth is still entertaining. He's just like more serious now and more aggressive. And I really do like this new version of him and this new persona. And let me just say this right here. The Cena segment, the Cena part was segment of the night, promo of the night, and maybe even promo of the year, honestly. I gotta see what CM Punk retaliates with. Because if CM Punk retaliates with even a quarter of what I know he can do, it might just blow this John Cena one out of the waters. Honestly, maybe, but I may be glazing too much right now. But anyhow, though, currently as it stands, that was, for me, probably promo of the year. That was crazy. And this is going to be talked about for a long time, a long, long time. But overall, though, this episode of Smackdown for me was an 8 out of 10. This episode was amazing. This episode was peak. This is what we need to be getting on a weekly basis. This is how you get the fan base back, This is how you get people talking. This is how you get people hooked. This is what we need. And don't just save material like this for premium live events. No, do it throughout the weekly show so people are even more excited for the premium live events. This was amazing. This was mind-blowing. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed every second of it. This was, I don't want to call it cinema. I'm doing too much right now, but this was amazing. I don't want to call it cinema or anything and glaze it too much, but this was peak. This was good. This was awesome. This was impressive. This was good stuff. Whoever wrote this, whoever wrote this script, I know their pen was on fire backstage while they were writing this stuff. But anyhow, though, like I said, this episode for me was an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. This is probably one of the best episodes of SmackDown we've gotten in a long time. In a long, long time. This was amazing. But anyhow, though, that's my breakdown. That's my review of Friday Night SmackDown this week. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. I'm out.